Alright, yo, what's up, guys? So today I'm gonna be telling you what a projected is, right? So I feel like I need to get really basic with this stuff so you guys kind of understand. Now, there's good projecteds and bad projecteds, and I'll get into that later. But yeah, and this video isn't about flipping projecteds. I might make one later about it. But yeah. So flipping, it's not about flipping, but I guess like the good projecteds you can flip, the bad ones you can't really flip. So let's get into this. So this egg, for example, right, is a bad projected. You know, like the eggs are always below 100 Robux, yet their wrap is really high, like 314. This egg has not gone 314 since it's never gone above 314 ever. I mean, just because it's so common, everybody has it. And you see the spikes in the graph like that show, hey, it's went up to 500 before, it's went up to 400 before average price, but again, that's just it being projected, right? People are buying it at a high value. So let me show you what I mean. So if we look at egg or fried chicken egg, all right, so you can go on this website Roblox. It's really helpful. Look up the item and look at its sales, right? So this is how you can see it when an item is projected. So as you can see, the item is selling at a pretty steady amount of, like, you know, 50, 90, whatever, somewhere in that range, somewhere, you know, 50, 100. That's how much this usually goes for. I mean, 50, 80 now. But then you have some like guy or, you know, person that gets their account beamed, they lose their account, whatever, or just want to project the item, which is how good projected start, which again I'll get in that. And or just like a troll, and they buy an item like this egg, for example, for 42k and project it to like a really high price. Now, since this egg is traded every day really fast, it's obviously it's gonna even out really quickly. But I'm sure when this was projected, the egg's value was like 2k, which the egg never gets 2k, but that's just its average price. So that's what it means when you get it projected. So let me show you some of my trades. I have tons of projecteds there. It gets kind of annoying, so let's see. I usually keep all my good trades, so I might not have any. Alright, so I'll take a look. Basically, so going on, so there's smalls. Alright, so this book, right? Everybody's been offering me this book. Now, this isn't a book about value, but as you can see, it's heavily projected. And this is what I would call a good projection. If I'm just gonna be honest, this is a good projection because, as you can see, its value went from 2k to 10k. The next seller after the 5k is 10k, and that drastically increases its trading value. Not really its selling value, but its trading value. So this is an example of a good projection. Like, if this item was not projected, it would still be worth 2,000. It would still be garbage. No one would still want it. So that's how people can get items like this for legit, right? So I was once in a trade with these glasses, right? And these glasses were just like the book. They were projected 24k at the time, and the glasses were selling at 2k, right? And after their projection, they were selling for a solid like 10k, 14k, right? And they maintained their value for quite a while. So an item being projected is sometimes a good thing. Now, you have, when you get trades from like smaller people about smaller projecteds, like, you know, someone sends you like 4 eggs for like your item that's worth like 500. Yeah, those are obviously bad projecteds, and most of the smaller items that are projected are usually bad. You don't want small projecteds. Good projecteds are usually the ones that are above 10k, or when they get projected are above 10k. So like, let me show you this red goof, right? So recently this red goof was projected really high. Its value was 9k, right? And so I'm like, some guy sends me a trade for the red goof for my legit, which is actually worth 9k. It has a really stable value, and I'm like, what an idiot. Why do you, like, who's gonna trade, you know, like legit for red goof? Like, that's stupid. Like, its value is 9k, but it just got projected, right? Well, there's one of two things that can happen, which I know you're like, oh, wait, I'm not gonna get into flipping. So I don't want to get into flipping, but basically, just to dumb it down, right? This guy flipped the projected because it was 9k, and I think he traded it for the space here or something, because maybe the guy who got it thought he could flip it on someone else for a better deal. But anyway, that's for another video. I'm not going to go in depth on that, but just one pretty good. So this is an example of good projected. I think it didn't. So again, smaller items don't really gain much value. I mean, unless they're like rarely bought and sold, because this one's always traded. You know, it has 50k owners, so obviously it's gonna be traded. But usually, getting projected is a good thing. It's a good thing for your item, especially if there's a low quantity of sellers. Even if there's not, it's still a good thing, because if you can get the item off your hands as soon as it gets projected, you can again probably make about 10% profit without actually like considered. Because like, you know, everybody's like, oh yeah, you can flip projecteds, just like get a really bad projected and trade it for an item. That doesn't happen. I mean, sometimes, like, sure, I guess it does happen to people who don't know what they're doing. But even if your item is like heavily projected and it just got projected, you could probably trade it off for like 10-20% of its original value. or like usual value because it's projected. Some people just kind of want to project it so they can flip it, right? But normally projectors are bad, especially in like smaller areas. But once you're like above 10k, you have rares. Yeah, projectors are amazing. They can do wonders for your item. Just look at what was it? Waffle Trades. I watched a video. He flipped his waffle square top hat. He projected it. Sorry, and so he basically owned most of the copies of this that were like in trade, right? And what he did was he projected his item, which Rollimons I guess isn't responding for some reason, but he projected this item, right? And because he bought it for 1.5k million, so I'm like, whatever, like yeah, 1.5 million, and it raised the value of his account by like a ton, and basically he was like, he made a lot of like I guess Robux. Let's see, he projected it, and now its wrap is worth instead of 9k to 30k, and now again it's like it's not gonna go down in value immediately because there's not a lot of sellers, right? It's in somewhat demand. I mean, it's not somewhat in demand, so he had time to trade it off, make his Robux. Now obviously it's gone back down, but because what goes up must come down, right? Projectors aren't gonna stay projected forever. That's why you kind of want to get rid of them, like snippety snappity. It's just the less demand your item is, the more time you have. But yeah, so he flipped all his projectors and he made like tons of Robux off this. So yeah, I hope that helped and I guess explained a little more in depth about what a projected is. Yeah, so again, if you're like a small trader, don't trade for projectors. Just don't bother. If one of your items, like one of your big items like Iron Command or Red Goof gets projected, hey, that's good. Trade it off as fast as you can for like 10%, 20% value. But at a lower level, don't worry about it. If you're at a higher level, A, you probably shouldn't be listening to me. You probably know what you're doing. And B, well, yeah, it's obviously a good thing if your item gets projected, as I explained. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe if you watch all that. Make sure to subscribe if you watch all that, because I definitely helped you, and I deserve it. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.